And to be completely fair and honest, I don't actually remember if it was like the title of your message or if it was just something you said inside of a message,
Hmm.
but you talked about how it is okay to question God.
Right.
And a lot of people have a lot of different experiences with that phrase
Hmm.
of it's, all the way from it's absolutely not okay to question God. Everything is
Hmm.
straight line. Here's what it is,
Hmm.
right? To
Hmm.
all the way to like we have to question God. If we're not going to question, then how are we going to grow? How are we going to learn, right? So could you give us like some, just to start us off, some like context of that question, how we talk and how you talked about that and
Yeah.
what you were talking about?
Yeah. The title of the sermon that day was When Revival Doesn't Come, because the church, the global church, I feel like has been in a season of revival. There was the Asbury revivals that were going on, and uh, a lot of different local churches are holding these worship gatherings, calling them revival gatherings, revival nights, and our church has done the same.
Right.
And we've seen God really show up and move and do a lot of really great things in those events. For me, running along parallel of all of these great moves of God has been me in my own personal journey having a special needs daughter. And my daughter has some intellectual delays and was diagnosed very early that something was just off. To this day, she still does not have a formal diagnosis. But along with those delays came testing, which showed extremely low IQ, which put her into the full time special needs track at the local public school. And we started this process. And along the journey, to be honest, things have gotten worse since the initial diagnosis, not better. And more things have come up and more symptoms have come up, including childhood epilepsy and her now being on medication to prevent these seizure episodes. And honestly, things continue to not go in the direction that my prayers are asking. And so while I'm walking out this personal journey, I'm also helping to lead a church and try to be full of faith and full of expectation and challenge people to believe for these great things. And we're either coming out of we're going into a series of events that we were calling revival nights at our church. And so I got up on a Sunday and I preach maybe 5, 7 times a year. I don't preach very often, but I just felt like it was very a provocative idea to get up and say, well, what happens when revival doesn't come? And what happens when the things you're praying for and the things you're believing for don't actually come to pass? And I felt like I got our congregation's attention by framing that. And I haven't been shy about our story. I've been very open about it and have talked about it on our main platform many times. And as part of that sermon, my primary my primary starting point after laying all this foundation was, okay, it's okay to question God. And
Mm.
it's okay to be mad at God. And because of my personal testimony and what we've gone through and what we're walking through, I felt like I had the authority to talk on the subject and to talk on the idea that um, God is not angry with me when I'm angry at him,
Mm.
and God is not mad at me when I'm questioning him.